I'm actually really excited about this one.
Yeah, I am too.
Especially to offer one that like actually no one really knows. Like,
yeah.
I know that not many people know this one.
Yeah, I think that's why it'll be good.
Granted, it's a fucking EV company, but whatever.
Yeah, well, you know. Yay! So, you have mentioned this company. Excuse you?
Huh?
That's rude.
What?
So, tell me about Proterra, because I know you wanted to talk about this company as well. This was another company that you have told me about before, and you wanted to discuss it because you thought, kind of like previous companies we've talked about before, this one itself, like, it's not necessarily like a well-known or like it's not like a
hot, sexy
company. It's not really in the news a lot, but you thought it was worthwhile because, for that reason, because it's not really talked about a whole lot.
Exactly. Okay, so it's an EV stock, number one. So that's like the first thing you need you guys to know.
Hip hip! Boo! Hip hip!
Boo! You stink!
Yeah, I know, yeah, because that has like a huge negative connotation apparently now.
It's like
because
what?
It's like, exactly, yeah, like
Pump and dump.
Hyleron, Neo, all those companies that like,
Xpeng.
you hear Xpeng all the time that you hear about. I know. Okay, Proterra is probably the most likely to be the best company out of any of those garbage companies that you hear about all the time.
Okay,
What do they do?
I was just gonna ask you, like, what is Proterra? Because you have refused to tell me, other than you said it's an electric bus company.
Yes.
Like, okay, so I'm gonna ask you.
Yes.
Because I legitimately don't know. Like, what is Proterra?
Okay, it is electric buses, and the thing is that it's basically bringing that to the public market, bringing electric buses to the public market, because public transportation, not in America, but in most countries, is a huge deal. It's a huge deal to have public transportation, have clean energy, have the ability to, recharge all the time, and have a legitimate company that can actually provide that product consistently and really exceptionally well.
Well, and I would add too, like, I mean, I know you said like in the United States, but like, or like not in the United States, but more like international.
Yeah.
It depends on where you're at, because there are certain parts of the United States where public transit is huge.
Like San Diego?
I guess San Diego.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
For me, what comes to my mind is when I was living in Oregon.
Ah, okay.
Because like the public transit system, especially the bus system, like I lived on the transit. Like that was like, I lived on a bus stop. Like that's why I picked the apartment I was at, because it was on a bus stop.
Okay.
And I was able to get not only to campus, but also to, all the social stuff.
I actually did.
Scandalous!
It depends on where you're at, so I will add into that.
That's true. 'Cause I feel like once you start getting urbanized, or if you
if you're in LA, Houston,
Big
New York,
city, big city,
Big
or
metroplex.
or on the coast.
LA.
LA.
Thank you. LA.
My point is, for Proterra right now is probably the best EV company that you could possibly see out of any of them when it comes to the ability to grow in the future. That's what I'm concerned about. So that's why I say Proterra, because Proterra.
Good job.
This one is actually the Chief Technology Officer, CTO, is a guy that worked at Tesla. So notoriety right there. His name is Dustin Grace. He worked there for 8 years actually, and then he worked his way from Proterra, being at a normal position, and then actually grew up from there, and now he's the CTO of that company.
So if 100%. You can have an all-electric vehicle that is eco-friendly, they would rather have an eco-friendly bus than some gas guzzler that's going to and fro, that's just pumping out
just like
freaking...
What the was that?
Yeah, just like pumping out some gas guzzler.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Like,
but my thing is that it still needs money. It still needs
Fair.
the
Yeah, that's understandable.
actual
Yeah, yeah.
backing that actually means something.
Sure.
Not just, oh wow, it's amazing, it's EV. Wow.
so the 190. So okay, so the 190 million you're talking about, is that in the past year alone in
Yes.
revenue?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
That's the past year.
so
That's
for
one
the
year.
20
1 year.
so for the 2020 fiscal year, that was the 190 million
Yes.
that they made. Okay.
So that was like the number one reason why it's beneficial. The number one like amazing factor about Proterra is that the fact that they have $750 million in backlog.
So the demand is there.
Exactly. That's what I'm
And
talking
that's
about.
the money part of it.
That's the
That's
money.
the business aspect. Like,
Exactly.
yes, the environment, obviously, like we obviously want to protect the environment, but like when it comes
Yada,
down
yada,
to
yada.
business,
That's
like,
what you need.
That's the big thing.
Exactly.
And that's the big kicker.
That's
like,
why I really like it. is
and that makes sense. Like
Yes.
I had never heard of this company until
No.
you brought it up to me.
But the fact they have $750 million.
I mean, that speaks volumes.
That's not a little number of money.
No,
That's a
that's-
ridiculous amount of money. That's
a
like,
big dog amount.
Exactly.
That's
there
a
you
big-
go.
that's a big dog amount of money.
Okay. And
Of
then
money. For the future too.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
I get that.
and then the other two minor things are that that people don't think about, but they're really important, is manufacturing capacity and then also for full charging solutions. So
What does that- okay, what does that mean?
manufacturing capacity means that like they're able to produce
A bus.
the bus in an efficient amount of time
Okay.
and make sure that it actually happens.
Okay.
And then full charging solution means that like you know how you see Tesla superchargers everywhere?
Yeah, like the EV like charging stations for any electric car or whatever.
That's what they're talking about. Full charging solution, being able to charge. So their big thing is that they're able to charge it because they're more going into public transit, which makes sense because they're a bus. So they have their solutions more into this effect of the governments. So the government's more going to be paying for it more than anything. So,
I mean, the
But yes.
green energy, like there is
Yep.
a huge
Huge market
window
for
of
it.
opportunity
Yep.
potentially for green energy.
Mhm.
And,
that's
and
what I
this
mean.
and this is something
That's
like
exactly
that,
what Proterra is.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
so the thing is that so that's because that's like the big number one thing that people love EV for is because that it has that green, it has that sexy title where it's like, oh wow,
Green energy.
it's amazing, it's
I
gonna
imagine,
save
like-
the planet.
I imagine some like rainbow. It's like green energy. Bling.
Double rainbow. Oh my god. It's a double rainbow all the way. It's so beautiful.
Wow, it's gonna save the planet.
Whatever.
Okay,
It's like
okay, but
whatever.
yeah, but cool, that's fine, but it needs to make money. Short term, that's their biggest
that.
fault is that they don't think about media. That's my number one thing is that like, so Neo, Xpeng, Tesla, they think about media all the time. Even they don't spend
Elon
mu-
tweets every day.
That's my point. Yeah.
It's almost as if like Tesla is like this overarching god, and
Yes.
every other EV company is its like descendant.
Offshoot. Yep.
Yeah, it's just like there.
That's a good
It's-
point. Yep.
And they're at the table. They're just not taking that opportunity. Almost
Yeah.
seems like from what you're telling me.
Then that's really what I gather from this company.
I'll give you that.
If you're dealing with this amount of money, you're not dealing with stupid people.
Yeah, these people are like investors in Proterra are looking more for
Long term.
the actual investment standpoint versus going off of news.
Exactly. And so that's why I really like it, is because that it has actual founding, it has actual groundwork below it, and it's not just all news and hype and everything like that. It actually has legitimate money. And I'm sure those other companies have, I haven't looked it up, but I'm sure those other companies have legitimate money coming into it now, but did they have it previously? That's it. So that's why I really like this company.
Hey, I guess I gotta look into it now.
I know, right?
All right.
What's the score? I can't tell anymore.
So let's say we're looking at a new company like Proterra, which, okay, new, I put new in quotes. But if
Yeah,
you
it's been
want
around
to,
for a while.
yeah, but if you want to invest in EV or something like that, and you hear this all the time, like buying on margin, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You hear the concept of buying on margin, and I'll be completely honest, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, I didn't know what the fuck that meant. Like buying on margin, like I don't know what that meant.
Okay.
But all it is like you're basically taking a loan out and then using that loan money to
Invest.
go buy stocks and invest.
So you have 50 grand, okay, you have 20 grand, 10 grand, whatever it is. Whatever it is.
$1,000, $100, $500, whatever.
They match it. They give you $1,000. So you have 1,000.
Charles Schwab matches it.
They gave you 1,000. That's it. That's what margin is. Margin is quite literally just debt you owe to this company.
It's just taking a loan.
That's
really what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Margin is some fancy term, but it's just a loan.
That's all it is.
Let's be honest.
That's
it's a
all
loan.
it is. No,
I'm more from the corner of I want to use the money that I have that I earned from my job or whatever it is I'm doing to make money or income. I would rather use that money to put it into something else.
Yeah. You would
To
rather
invest
actually
or something
yeah,
like that. Like
exactly.
that's for me. Like versus taking a loan out to put that money into it because that company could go to zero.
Oh yeah. No.
Denbury Resources is a great example of that. Hertz is another great example of that.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Denbury and Hertz are a great example of companies doing BK.
Yeah.
Like, what is the advantage to buying on margin to invest?
The biggest thing with margin is that it's the old homage of more risk with more reward.
Okay.
That's it. Is that so when you're taking out a margin, you're matching somebody, like you're basically, you are borrowing money from some entity. If you're borrowing money, that basically means that I'm borrowing this money because I think I will benefit from it.
No, I agree. I mean, I think we hit it on the head.
Okay.
I am drunk.
I am too. Fuck.
We have one more question to go
Last subject.
through. All right, last subject. We're going to kill this bottle, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Wow. All right, that was a fair pour.
What do you mean? That was...
It was a sniff.
I didn't put anything in mine.
All right, well, we'll go with that.
All right.
Should I start the video over?
No,
Bitches.